I'm Richard Lewis reporting for cadred.org, and I'm here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. Had a pleasant surprise because we weren't expecting to see Scarlett, but well, what are you doing here? Let's get that out of the way first, because you're not playing.
I'm here for Acer. There's a promotional Acer booth over right beside the Intel booth, actually. And I'm here for the whole week. I'll be there part of the time, and part of the time just at IEM watching.
Yeah, well, at least you get good seats, at least, which is nice. So, okay, well, I guess we should start a little bit about yourself. You've had quite a prominent rise, and a very quick rise to fame, if you like. You've gone from being unknown to being in the top 5 foreign player list pretty much every time one comes up. And that all started kind of around about IPL 4 and then WCS and whatnot. So let's talk a bit about what that was like. I mean, were you kind of aware of it as it was happening? You know, what was going through your mind as you kind of realised, I'm beating people, I'm actually getting quite good here?
Well, I had already, like on ladder when I was playing, I knew I was like pretty good. And at the tournament, I kind of expected to do that well. I mean, at IPL 4, I didn't meet Oz. I didn't think I would. I thought I could beat Terrius Prime, and I did. In general, I guess it wasn't really out of my expectations, but it was nice. So
you wouldn't describe yourself as being someone who's very confident, like supremely confident? You see a lot of players who are just, I'm going to win this tournament, you know, your Stefanos, MCs, people like that. You knew you were good, but you weren't 100% certain that you could, you know, do as well as you did.
No, I never really expect I can win a tournament yet, so I hope someday I can be that confident, because it definitely helps when you're playing if you're really confident in matches.
Well, what about, you know, you moved from IPL 4 into WCS and you started really gaining momentum. Were you surprised at the amount of positive attention that you got? Because obviously esports, you know, it can be a place where people are very skeptical about, you know, flash in the pans, people who were suddenly successful, but everyone really got behind you and was really championing what you were doing. Was that a surprise?
It was a little bit of a surprise. Like, I got a lot more attention for what I did than most people would, and I don't know. I don't know if I like that attention too much. Helps you get on a team and everything, but I'm a shy person, so.
Well, yeah, I can tell that. So what's it like being in the spotlight as a shy person? Because you have to do all this promotional stuff. You have to do interviews like this one, which of course, it must suck if you're a shy person, so I apologise. But StarCraft 2 is as much about personality as it is about performance. So do you take any, I don't know, media lessons, coaching, anything like that to get better at it and conquer that shyness?
No, not exactly, but being at more events, it's helping me get a little less shy each time, so it's getting better, but still, I don't like really interviews or being on camera much at all. So
we're not going to see you doing any casting or anything like that in the future?
I doubt it.
Okay, well, who knows? Let's talk a bit about your ability within team games as well, because you seem to be a really good team player, and obviously I think it's a little bit different, the mentality and the approach you have to the game. Why is it you think you're so good in those team matchups, perhaps even better than you are on a 1v1 basis?
I think it's because it's a lot like ladder. Playing in a team match, you just play best of one against some person, you have no preparation time, and I practice mostly on the ladder, so I don't really plan out my builds very well.
Right.
So in matches like a best of 3, best of 5, a lot of the times I get build order disadvantages. Like, I played Vortex earlier this week in RSL, and I don't know, I just got really bad build. I got really bad build order losses most of the games, so yeah. But in team matches, that doesn't really happen. Most people just either do like an all-in or play very macro style, and if you scout, it's easy to figure it out, and I'm good at really standard play, so.
Does it help? I mean, like, because you've talked a bit about how you can identify weaknesses in your game, does it help playing in a team league and then moving into a 1v1 because you become conscious of things you need to tweak and develop, you know, from that, or would you say the two are completely dependent of each other? Sorry, it's okay. I'll rephrase that. Well, is there anything you can take positively from the team game that helps you improve in the 1v1 kind of competitions?
Well, obviously they're related. It's just, but it's a lot less about planning out a series. Like, you know, everyone says MVP is really good at planning out like which builders to pick in a series, and that's why he does so well in GSL. And like, he went 3-4 against Life, he went 4-3 against Squirtle, even when he was a lot worse than he was before. And I'm really bad at that, so I'm trying to improve, but I don't think team matches help that very much, because you don't plan at all in a team match unless you're the first player on each team.
So, Heart of the Swarm's out. This is the first real big tournament. It seems to have completely changed the meta, which I think everyone expected that to happen. But we haven't seen standard builds coming in. We've already seen some shock results. Can you talk a little bit about your impressions of it and how it's changed the game as a whole?
It makes the game a lot more, everyone's a lot more aggressive now, because sitting back and getting a late game competition isn't as strong, especially for Zerg. So I watch mostly Zerg games because I'm a Zerg player, of course. Yeah. So no one's going Broodlord and Fester Turtle anymore at all. Everyone's Roach Hydra aggression with Vipers and whatever, and I don't know. I was more of a passive player, but a lot of times in practice I did do aggressive builds, and I do enjoy playing Mutas a lot. I don't like playing Roach Hydra, but yeah. I think it's a good change, because the game was kind of boring to watch at the end of Wings Liberty for a lot of people who, like, if you just want an exciting game, it was just a lot of sitting around making a big army and then one engagement, which a lot of people don't like. So now it's better it's a better metagame for like people watching and stuff.
You said that you're quite a passive player and Heart of the Swarm makes it more aggressive. Do you expect to continue your success and perform at the same level in Heart of the Swarm? I mean, obviously you've been playing it yourself, so how have you been getting along?
I think I can do just as well. Like, I can play aggressive builds, and when I practice them I do good with them, but right now I've been having some wrist issues, which is hurting, and even at the end of Wings of Liberty I didn't do well for the last couple things I played in. And I've been working on that. And
it's nothing too serious. You haven't got, like, you know, anything that's going to require surgery or anything?
I don't think so.
Let's hope not.
It is pretty bad, but it's getting better now.
That's good. What about, I mean, you talked a little bit about the spectators. A lot of people feel that StarCraft 2's really, you know, declined and the numbers have dipped. There's a lot of people saying, oh, the game's dead, you know, a lot of doom and gloom. Do you think Heart of the Swarm is going to help renew the numbers, or do you think that we might have to accept StarCraft 2 is kind of plateaued at the level that it's going to be at now from an esports perspective?
It'll increase again, but not as much as it was at the start of Wings of Liberty. And I think the numbers won't drop as fast as they were recently, because like if you read the live report threads on Team Liquid for tournaments, everyone is like raging at the end of games saying this is so boring, they just sat there making a big army in one fight. And it's less like that now, so I think people are going to enjoy watching more.
Well, okay, kind of last questions. It would be remiss of me if I didn't ask you who you thought was going to win this Heart of the Swarm tournament. I know it's a real hard prediction to make because results have already been pretty crazy. Do you have a gut feeling as to who's going to triumph here?
Violet, I hope so.
Why do you hope so? Are you a fan?
I don't know. I'm friends with him. I'm a fan. I was watching him play, like right behind him when he was just playing soccer, and he won 2-0. So.
Well, we're big fans over at Cadred as well. I think we did his first ever proper interview when he was coming through as well. So that'll be totally great. And one last thing that I don't usually do is shout outs, but because you've kindly given us the interview, and I know you're here with Acer, if there's anything you would like to say at the end of the interview, please do.
You should check out Acer. There's a new team league starting. It's partnered Take TV and Acer. It's going to be 8 teams online soon when Heart of the Storm is released. It was actually supposed to be here, and that's originally why I was coming. But it got delayed for whatever reason. So now it's going to be online, and you should watch that.
Okay. You did brilliantly there. That was a very smooth plug. And thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us. I know you don't do a lot of interviews, so I really appreciate it. To all the people out there who've been watching this, we are going to be doing full coverage from here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. So do stay tuned to the website for more interviews like this one from here in Hanover.